As of yesterday, a biolab in Conyers, Georgia went up in flames, and the smoke that's coming from it is very toxic. They urge all people to either evacuate that area or stay inside. Now, that incident occurred an hour away from me, but as of today, it has reached even me. I'm currently staying inside of my home with no interest in stepping foot outside the door again at all. I say that because I went outside this morning and instantly I smelled bleach. I was out there for no more than 5 minutes and had to turn around and go back home because not only was I acquiring a very strange headache, but I was feeling very ill. I don't know exactly what happened at that biolab, but I'm pretty sure there's a conspiracy theory about it somewhere.
Okay, so it just keeps getting worse. Apparently a fire broke out at a place called BioLab, which is a chemical plant in Rockdale County in Georgia, in Conyers, Georgia. And it's resulted in the evacuation of tons of people in the vicinity of that area. The sheriff's office said they evacuated everybody around the area near BioLab on Old Covington Highway on Sunday morning after the fire broke out. And they're telling everybody else to shelter in place for the time being. Now, after the fire broke out at about 5:30 a.m., it was contained to the roof. However, when water from the building's sprinkler system mixed with water-reactive chemicals and wiring, it ended up sparking another fire, and it's unclear what the chemicals are exactly. As you can see, there's massive plumes of black and brown smoke floating off into the air around that area. They've been trying to remove pallets that have that water-reactive chemical, and they're trying to pull as many of them out of there as they can, but they're saying that it's going to take all day. Apparently, Federal Environmental Protection Agency and Georgia Environmental Protection Division are both on site trying to test the air to see if they can get an idea of what the plume actually consists of so they can give people an idea.
More than 17,000 people east of Atlanta are still worried about returning to their homes today after a fire at this pool chemical plant forced them from their neighborhoods. The colored clouds of burning chemicals filled the sky in Conyers, Georgia for most of the day Sunday, and people miles away could see what looked like skyscrapers of smoke.
I want to strongly ask all of you to please spread the word to stay away from this area at this point.
It was dangerous to breathe, so authorities shut down the busy interstate nearby, backing up traffic in both directions for hours. Families who agreed to leave spent the night in makeshift shelters.
If you choose not to evacuate, please do not get out and ride around and take videos of what's going on. Either leave or stay, but don't be wandering around in the city.
The fire initially broke out in the morning inside the BioLab pool chemical plant when water from a sprinkler mixed with a product and caused a chemical reaction. Firefighters were able to put out those first flames, but then the fire later reignited and the building collapsed.
What you're seeing is still that chemical reaction from that water-reactive chemical product.
Investigators aren't sure yet which chemicals burned and released into the air or what caused the fire to reignite.
That's crazy. I hope that all the people involved, all the people that was in that building got out safe and got away from that mess.
However bad you thought the damage was from Hurricane Helene, it's probably worse. At least 64 people have tragically passed away, thousands have been left homeless, about 3.5 million have been left without power, with people in Georgia only expected to get it back on the 5th of October. Oh, and insurance companies are cooked because the Financial Times report that property damage alone is up to 26 billion. Eerie end-of-days looking footage shows boats lining the streets while cars line the beaches. Bridges have collapsed, docks were destroyed, dams were at their breaking point, there were massive landslides, Stone Cold Steve Austin couldn't even drink his beer. And in Asheville, North Carolina, experts called it a 1-in-1,000-year event. Their French Broad River hasn't been this full since 1916, over 100 years ago. Oh, and it's not just the water you have to worry about, because the batteries in electric vehicles being submerged in salt water are releasing hydrogen gas and heat, which is resulting in fires. Helene is now turned into a post-tropical cyclone and is expected to continue to cause intense flooding through to Sunday.
Did you hear Kim Porter, Diddy's late ex-wife, had her memoir released? I heard it's a real page-turner. No one knows if she actually wrote this book or not. So everything you're about to hear, it could be true, it might not be true. So Kim Porter first met the diabolical brother Diddy while working at Uptown Records, the diddler. They're together for a year and a half when Diddy insists that he wants Kim to peg him. What? Kim replies, isn't that you and Clive Davis's thing? Clive Davis is the man that put him in charge. Oh, Diddy got his job with no songwriting abilities, can't play an instrument, barely can rap. So how did he get his job? Because he could throw that ass
Diddy already had a boy toy that was doing that for him. She didn't want to have to do it too. I respect that, Kim.
Shout out to the good sister Amanda Rollins. I'm recapping her recap.
Thank you, Mandy.
Mary J. Blige comes into the picture.
Oh no.
Diddy admits that he hooked up with Mary J. Blige. All three of them eventually entangle as well.
Oh, Diddy had a threesome with Mary J. and Kim Porter.
For this, she was married to a big shot, Al Shore.
I'll be sure.
One day, Kim Porter came home. Diddy is at the table with Al B. Shore. Al suggests that they all have a threesome. That goes down, but eventually the threesome dwindles down to just a twosome between the fellas.
Kim Porter fell off the bed and Diddy and Al just kept going. King freak off, man.
So shortly after that, Kim is perusing around the house. She finds a secret vault with all the tapes of the alleged freak-offs.
Oh, so she found the mother lode.
Kim was with Diddy, but they were more or less in an open relationship since he likes to dudes. She started seeing Tupac.
That's a nice pull. Thank you, Kim.
They're all together, and Diddy asked Tupac, who do you think can slang it better?
Between them two? Gotta be like, yo, my dick game's better, yo. You gotta prove it to me if you think yours is better.
And then one day, Kim Porter walks into the studio and alleges that she hears Diddy arranging the hit on Tupac. He said, no one's leaving that studio alive.
Oh, shit. This is fucking sad. This is like out of a movie.
She reveals the previous time Diddy had put hands on her was when she had a little too much fun with Jamie Foxx.
Oh.
Why is that an issue? You also had your fun with Jamie Foxx.
Oh, shit. Diddy got a little envious. Little Anita. Some Luther Vandross.
There is the rumor that Jamie Foxx hosts nude basketball games at his house.
Oh, did you see the footage of the basketball court at Diddy's crib with the beds on the court? What the would that be for?
So this book was allegedly released by one of her close friends. She was afraid of releasing it before he was put away.
You only write shit down because you want people to know about it, right?
She alleged that the Seans, Sean Carter, Sean Combs, Jay-Z, they would be in bed together from time to time.
Now they're throwing Jay-Z into this? I might have to draw the line there.
He overheard Jay-Z saying he was tired of being second fiddle to Biggie and more or less gave Diddy the go-ahead to go through with the execution.
I don't want to believe that, but God
What?
damn it. Hollywood's gonna blow up when this shit all comes to light. Every single celebrity we know is either gonna be in jail or their reputation completely ruined.
So Quincy Jones' daughter confronts Diddy at an award show about his potential hit on Tupac. She gets up, goes to the bathroom, and Diddy allegedly pees in her ginger ale.
Why the hell would he pee in a ginger ale? Some freak shit. Him and R. Kelly deserve each other.
He was fucking Jada, looked into the other room that Diddy was in, saw Diddy and the power of will.
Now Will Smith is in it too? Shocks me a little bit.
Scientologist.
I didn't know he was a Scientologist.
She overheard Diddy saying that this beef is very lucrative,
East Coast, West Coast.
but it's getting out of hand.
Certain point, two bodies.
But if people aren't loyal to him, he can't offer them protection anymore.
Oh, and Biggie was leaving Bad Boy.
She said that Biggie and Tupac were leaving their individual labels and forming one together.
Oh,
Which would give credence to the fact that maybe Diddy and Suge Knight worked together to kill both of them off. Kim Porter said she overheard Diddy saying Biggie's worth more to me dead than alive.
now the math is mathing a little too much.
Too much mathing. Mathematically.
He called Kim Porter, said, you're going to see me start dating a video girl, a video vixen, don't worry. It's just a cover-up for my sexuality.
J-Lo. Jennifer from the block.
Diddy's the only one that never loved J-Lo.
Oh, you just dropped the bar there. That
Bro.
makes so much sense. It's probably the madame of the freak off.
He would come to Kim Porter's house. She was afraid he would kill her. He said, don't worry. If I were to kill you, no one would know.
Spoken like a man who's done it before.
She died in her mid-40s of pneumonia.
Doesn't happen often. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but it's a little fishy considering everything else going around in this criminal mastermind Diddy.
Kim Porter alleges that Diddy used Faith Evans simply as a pawn to spy on Biggie and have control over him.
So Diddy put Faith Evans in Biggie's life as a plant, as an undercover. This is some dark shit, bro.
Now it really gets disgusting.
Oh, no.
Kim Porter became pregnant with Diddy's baby, and Diddy goes, perfect. Everyone's going to want to have sex with you with the freak-offs now. He would set her up to have sex while pregnant with this cohort of celebrities because it was an energy transfer. They would get the energy from the new baby.
This has gotten to a place where I don't even feel comfortable joking about it. Really nasty. Diddy's crib is like the Red Keep.
Kim Porter took a meeting with a Hollywood producer. Diddy did not like that. A few months later, Hollywood producer dead of pneumonia.
The Hollywood producer died of pneumonia too? What the?
In fact, Kim Porter said whenever she dated anyone else, suspicious pneumonia diagnosis.
By death?
So she starts sleeping with Diddy again because she knows where the tapes are, and she slowly makes it a mission, sleep with him, go to the vault, copy the tapes, put him up on a cloud. And then she says that she found tapes of Bieber, Bow Wow, and Usher.
Oh my God, so he was going for the young superstars when they were young.
Later on, her home was raided for the tapes, but they were in the cloud, stupid.
Thought ahead.
The ending of the book, she's writing that I'm not feeling well. I'm about to go to the hospital. I needed to write this down just in case anything happens to me. If anything did happen to me, you know who caused it.
Oh my God. This is a smoking gun.
Now, people are also recirculating the fact that Diddy and Jamie Foxx got into some sort of scuffle. Jamie Foxx, mysterious coma for months. No one knows what happened.
Holy shit, that did happen to Jamie. We was wondering what happened to him. So we almost lost Jamie because of Diddy?
It's unclear if she wrote this book, if even 5% of this information is correct. Holy shit.
At least half of that shit is true. What a sick Shit is not even funny anymore.
You will never see the light of day again.
Yeah, man, this fucking sick. Cat Williams was right all along. Fucking psycho-ass Diddy, man. I'll see you on Cell Block Freak.
No Rico, Deuce. This the Freako.
As bad as this all is, I think the funniest part is the fact that they're putting all this on Diddy when he was just one piece to the chess game that is Hollyweird and the industry and all. There's other players that were involved that were bigger than Diddy. He was just a pawn.
Hi, my name is Fox, and this is all of the news that the Diddy case has been distracting us from this week. Small panic. Every single member from the 23andMe board has resigned because the CEO wants to make it a private entity and they do not agree with what she is about to do. It's Not Real is wanting to declare war on Lebanon. They have started to bomb Syria. And Netanyahu is in New York this week for the UN General Assembly. France has petitioned for an emergency security council meeting over Lebanon and Syria. Earth is going to have 2 moons from September 29th to November 25th. There is a stadium-sized asteroid barreling towards Earth. The only reason we know about this anomaly is because of the James Webb Telescope, and scientists have deemed whatever is barreling towards Earth not necessarily an asteroid because it is quote-unquote not natural. It's come to be released later on this year that earlier this year, there were a few quote-unquote secret meetings between America's and foreign governments when it came to UFOs and UAPs. There was a document that resurfaced saying that plasmoids are forms of higher intelligence and they are the ones that quote-unquote shapeshift themselves to look like UAPs. The document itself is from 1991 and does discuss in depth the plasmoids. CEOs are stepping down left and right. Not only CEOs associated with the music industry, though, this one is associated with healthcare. This year is specifically the highest year for CEO resignation, and a lot of people think that it has to do with Diddy. Several Trump rallygoers say that they are experiencing mysterious eye injuries after attending the rally that specifically was the second attempt on Trump's life. 2 people, unfortunately, have lost their lives as South Africa got a shit ton of snow. There are people convinced that the Wayfair scenario is now happening with Etsy. Farms are using virtual reality for their cows so they don't have to put them out in fields. Microsoft bought a nuclear power plant to power AI. And in what may be the twist of the century, new Mozart literally just dropped. There was a German library that had one of his scores that has never been heard before, and they are going to be performing it so that way everybody can hear it, which I think is fucking awesome and weird. There is going to be a strike at our ports, and they did indeed execute Marcellus Williams. There is so much that is going on that if I tried to make each one of those an individual episode, I would be pre-recording for the next 3 weeks. Everybody, please stay safe, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Mwah.
I've been sitting on this particular video clip for a while, and it's funny how fast forwarding to how long I've been sitting on this clip that so many of the information that she just spoke of has come to fruition. Some of it was already in action, but stuff, as we've seen from this compilation, has come to fruition, like the strike. Oh man, there's a lot going on in the world. All we can do is pray, really. I don't even know how much that's gonna help.
So why is it that scientists have just discovered food dyes inside of your Doritos that makes rats transparent? This is an actual picture from the science experiment that they was talking about. What the fuck ingredient is they using to turn Master Shifu into a blob of petroleum jelly? Literally resembling a... And I know y'all wondering what ingredient is it? Yellow 5. And yes, y'all heard this right. Yellow 5 is the magical chemical that can turn rats transparent. And if y'all don't know, this dye is damn near in every chip. Doritos, Takis, all of that. And now, if this dye is doing this to rats, what is this doing to the people that are consuming it? And why the fuck we ain't turned it to Invincible Man yet? And why can we still eat it?
Wait, did I just eat a bag of Doritos recently? Oh, Lord. Look, they were so good. I'm not ready to let them go. They were the Cool Ranch ones, too, from all my Cool Ranch lovers out there. Woo! Look, I'm going to eat one more bag just to say goodbye. Just to say goodbye.
You wanted to see something about giants?
Yes, giants.
So we're going to start off really big. How's that sound? Here's the biggest thing I've got. This is from an 18-foot person. estimated. Big toe bone. There it is.
That is this part.
Yeah, your very end big toe bone.
Dang.
It's been x-rayed, and this person had broke their toe bone, and then it healed up. This is from an 18-foot person.
We were out at, we were in Turkey, and we were out at the village where we believed Noah's house to be. And years ago, they had dug up a grave that we believe was Noah's wife's grave. Just looking around where the hole for her grave was, where they had dug it up, and we found some bones. And these bones here have been identified by a radiologist and a couple of physicians. None of them want to put their name on their statement, but here's what they told us we have. That we have a human finger with a touch of arthritis.
What? Hold on. Which finger is this supposed to be?
This is the finger. See, it's
what?
This.
It's not even the whole pinky finger. It's only the first three. Wait a minute. What kind of finger got that many? Oh, because the hand. Never mind. So it is a whole pinky finger. That's the biggest pinky finger I'd have never seen.
I have never felt more bamboozled in my life. You're telling me this is what grass-fed means? I'm thinking they're free, happy cows living off the land. But no, this is the reality.
What?
Like, literally everything is a lie. Everything. Here I am thinking I'm getting a better quality of meat and the animals weren't tortured for me to eat this. And it's the same thing.
Literally. All right, show of hands in the comment section. Who else thought that grass-fed meant that the animal got to roam free? Not this mess. Look at this. These poor cows, they look like they're suffocating with all this daggone grass being thrown in their face. And then they gotta just like wait until it pass by and shake it off so they can eat it. Oh my good. Then their heads are locked in these daggone things so they can't move, they can't go nowhere. And they crammed up next to each other. They look malnourished. I just need to stop eating beef and all meat together, honestly.
You guys want to hear something terrifying? The Prophecy of the Pope. This book was found in the Vatican archives in the 1500s, and it was authored by, his name was Malachi of Armagh, but this book has 111 cryptic phrases. Basically, it predicted every single pope from in 1143 all the way to our current pope, Pope Francis.
No way.
But the scary thing is, after Pope Francis, the last one, it just says in Judgment Day.
Oh, gosh.
It literally ends after Pope Francis?
Yes. The creepiest thing that I saw inside St. Paul's Basilica, like bordering the whole inner sanctuary, is every single pope, like a picture of every single pope. But what's weird is that there's only a certain amount of markers to where you could put a picture. One left after Pope Francis. They have always said that once that last slot is filled, it will be the end of the world. What he predicted and the time it took to go from the first pope that he wrote about to the second halfway mark pope was 422 years. And he's saying from the middle one to the end, another 422 years will be the end of the world. And if you do 422 years from the middle pope, which was 1585, that year is 2027.
Dang!
Pope John the 23rd, he said that the end of the world would happen 2,000 years plus Christ's life. So that adds up to 2027 as well.
Look, I'm not about to sit here and try to math check or fact check this man, but at the same time, I don't quite want to believe what he had to say either, because I got stuff to do and I need more than 2-3 more years to get it done. How about y'all?
It's an Andaman island, and it's forbidden to go there. And the people who live there are still living on the Stone Age. If you go there, they will eat you.
If you go there, they will eat you? Why would they eat you?
What?
Yo, what in the world
is that?
I thought it was like somebody up there, maybe like fishing or something.
I'm scared.
Yo, what in the world? That's kind of interesting. What is that?
Is it
Snake? Why would it?
way.
How is it doing that? What the hell? That weird, little guy.
ABC News has obtained a videotape that shows clearly what happened when the president fell ill. Here's White House correspondent Ann Compton.
Here's something odd I came across. This is President Bush Sr., not to be confused with his son, a later president. And in 1992, he vomited on the Japanese prime minister and then fainted. Now, the odd things. Firstly, I don't remember this happening at all.
I mean, I was 4 years old, so I definitely don't remember it.
But now there's all these clips on YouTube I'm just seeing. Secondly, watch his wife. That's Barbara Bush, who some say is Aleister Crowley's daughter. Some say is a man. As soon as she sees he's gonna vomit, she darts over to cover his mouth and nose. Possibly the worst thing you could do, right? Was she trying to hide something being seen from camera? And thirdly, look at this news clip. They are about to report that the president died the same day, then suddenly backtrack.
This just into CNN headline news, and we repeat, or we say right off the bat, we have not confirmed this through any other source. Stop. We are now getting a correction. We will not give you that story. It was regarding some...
This is some major news for everyone in America. Shipping ports from Maine all the way down to Texas have began shutting down as a staggering 45,000 port workers have just gone on strike. Now, this could lead to crippling disruption to the supply chain and the U.S. economy, the likes of which most of us watching have never even experienced, because the last time a strike like this happened was almost 50 years ago. For perspective, each day they refuse to work, according to a JP Morgan analyst, it will cost the U.S. economy up to $5 billion. Not a month, not a week, $5 billion a day. The head of the Port Workers Union said that people nowadays don't even know what a strike is. Everything in the United States comes on ships, from food to clothing to construction material and cars. He predicts that in the first week, it'll be all over the news. The second week, people in various industries will get laid off due to shortages. The third week, he says that malls will start shutting down because they can't get their products from China. Construction will grind to a halt because they can't get their materials like steel, lumber, etc. And then he said this.
Who's going to win here in the long run? You're better off sitting down and let's get a contract and let's move on with this world. And in today's world, I'll cripple you. I will cripple you, and you have no idea what that means. Nobody does.
The union is demanding a pay increase for their workers of about 10% each year for the next 6 years, after shipping firm profits soared during the COVID pandemic while inflation smashed their wages. Now, Joe Biden does actually have the power to suspend these strikes for about 80 days and send them back to work in what's called a cooling off period while they negotiate. But as of right now, the White House says that he is not planning to act.
Wow. He better.
Yeah. So God updated the servers again last night, y'all. And he gave us this new DLC. It's a yellow quill-tip porcupine. Never seen one of these in my life. Can't tell by the tail. Looks like a possum. But yeah, that's the update.
Yo, it look like a Pokemon Pokemon. Look at the face. It like a what? It look like a possum too. A porky possum. This thing must have bred with a Pikachu or something.
This little girl's brother saw her playing in the backyard with a friend, and that's the friend.
That ain't no friend. Look at that.
Get up here, Carly.
What? That's crazy. That was evil.
Rather tragic news involving President Bush, but...
Bro, that didn't look like no special effects. Yo, this woman just disappeared on live TV. I wonder where she at now.
You're managed by the company you look after S Club 7. You used to look after the Spice Girl Simon.
S Club 7, I ain't heard that name in 50 years.
Had they tried to mold you in any way, though, if people ask you to do things to change the way you look?
Oh my God, Amy Winehouse looks so pretty right here.
Or speak or behave?
Yeah, one of them tried to mold me into a big triangle shape, and I went, no.
Wait, what? What? Yo, that woman crazy. Who said, what the? not what he meant. That's not what he meant. Man, that's a chemtrail if I ever seen one. Big thick one. Wait, what was that shadow? Yo, what the frick? That's why you don't need to be touching stuff you ain't got no business touching. Hundreds of thousands of dead fish have poured into. Oh my goodness! Look at all them fishes, y'all. That's a lot of fish. Are they gonna rake them back into the water? What are they gonna do with them fish? They probably not healthy. You can't feed them to no animals, right? Nah, it can't be healthy. Flooding could be behind the incident. So you're saying too much water is the issue for fish?
So this is our Airbnb. And look what is on the ground. Oh my gosh. Turn around.
Oh God, Dave.
I'm the avatar.
She crazy.
Watching too much. Please don't let her fall.
Careful with your feet.
Wow. Think I'm gonna go in there?
Okay, I think we're safe, guys. How far does it go?
Why do there's a man there and you let the woman go first and it's your woman? It's your girl? Because I heard you say babe.
Oh, do you see a wall? The real concern is there something to the left that's a hole? And I don't know. Oh my gosh. I'm myself. I was down there with this. That is 110%.
Yeah, that was y'all saw that skull?
It's 3 a.m. Oh yes, 12 a.m. out here, girl. How's your baby though? So cute, so cute. Oh. I hate humans. Humans I hate. So
what the fuck? Yo, the freaking Look, I think that demon just came out and spoke on her behalf for a second. Cause what? That demon or alien one? Shit, some people believe they're one and the same. Gonna say, I hate humans. Humans I hate. And they just snap out of that woman. Crazy. Oh, that's beautiful. That's why is it coming out that one cloud like that? Wait, something ain't right. Why do I see reflection on trees? Nah, that cloud really lit up just now. Look, what's them two dots in the sky?
You see it. Behold a Pale Horse by William Cooper. May he rest in peace. Bill Cooper, former United States Naval Intelligence Briefing Team member, reveals information that remains hidden from the public eye. This information has been kept secret in the government files since the 1940s. Man, this man was talking about the assassination of JFK, UFOs, the war on drugs, aliens, the NWO, the Illuminati, Project Bluebeam, interdimensional beings, CERN, all types of stuff, man. And this man is no longer with us today because he gave out too much information for the people. And let me just tell you, when I first tried to find this book right here, man, it took me forever. They even wrote my name down in the bookstore for even getting this book. Wow. What made me think, like, why would they do such a thing like that? Why are they writing my name down because I bought this book? That only happened to me one other time. One of the last books I posted, Aliens Over America. Stuff is wild, man. But this information is out here, people. If you want to learn more and know about your history and know about the things that's going on in this world and this society and why everything is the way it is today, then check out these books, man. I got more books to come and more information to give to you people, man. Behold a Pale.
If you know me well enough, then you already know that's about to be the next book that I read. Look, is it on Amazon? Where my phone at? If it's on Amazon, it's not on Amazon. Darn it.
You need to watch this because too many people are finding this goop in their Arizona tea cans. And nobody knows what this is. But check this video out.
Never.
This getting lip right here.
I ain't never drinking Arizonas again, and I had one the other day. It was so good.
What the fuck is that? What? Let me see. What?
No.
So,
not me.
Yeah, it's a no for me. But y'all let me know what y'all think.
It's a nope, not me for me.
Y'all, I have another Mandela effect for y'all, and quite frankly, I'm getting tired of these because literally they're coming after childhood memories. Core memories at that.
They all of the Mandela effects are that way.
So, let's get into it. So before I show you this, I got a question for you. What color was Freddy Krueger's sweater?
Red and green.
Was it red and green or red and black? Babe, what color was Freddy Krueger's sweater?
Red and green.
It was red and green stripe.
That's what I remember too, red and green. This is what I remember, red and green. Most 80s, 90s babies are going to remember this, right? Nah, it's red and black. I'm for real, it's red and black.
He just got on the wrong sweater. That's all that is.
That's what they're saying. Literally trying to say that Freddy Krueger wore a red and black sweater. No ma'am, no ma'am, no ham, no turkey. It was red and green. So what do y'all remember? Because I know I'm not alone on this one.
Is that a Mandela effect, or is that a new generation of kids is getting it all wrong? Because even the Nike SB Dunk Low Freddy Kruegers were red and green. They sourced it from the movie, right? I want them shoes so bad. I was so tempted on buying the knockoff ones. If you ever see me walking around with a pair, they're replicas. They're not the real things, because the real ones cost about $20,000, and ain't nobody got that kind of money to be spending those daggone tennis shoes.
Here's a guy who is reaping the consequences of the education system.
Oh, wow, this is like the modern day. Oh, there it is. Wow, that's Popeye. Oh, wow, he's going to prove it's real. Wow, it's real.
Ain't real.
I mean, he could barely get the shirt off of his muscles because they're so big.
Oh, wow.
Fighting.
Look at his arm. Not his, I don't even know
Weak.
what to say anymore.
Look at that.
All arms, no muscles.
Why would anybody want to do this?
I'll tell you exactly why somebody would want to do something like this. Because some people in this world care more about being internet famous than they care about their own well-being.
So here's a video of a PLA Marine using a bird-like drone that's actually flapping its wings and flying through the air. Now, apparently China's been using drones that were had characteristics of actual birds for quite some time to be used in urban environments because it would be like natural cover and concealment. It's like hiding in plain sight because it doesn't look like a drone from far away, and you wouldn't know it was a drone until you were like holding it right in front of you. But they could still conduct reconnaissance with it and do whatever they wanted with it. Apparently back in 2018, they had a government program codenamed Pigeon, which they started creating drones that look like birds. Now, they didn't disclose whether or not they were going to be intended for operations in urban environments, but I would assume that they're trying to use them in any environment where they could, gain an advantage. Now, in 2022, engineers from the Middle Kingdom created a mechanical flying bird weighing 1,600 grams with a mechanical wingspan of 2 meters, and it was powered by a lithium battery and was able to stay in the air for an hour and a half. Pretty crazy stuff.
Pretty sure that man didn't have to be in the water to release that drone pigeon bird. He could have probably did it from a block away from the area they were trying to do reconnaissance on.
Now California is imposing people need to stop grilling food. So then maybe we're just going to use propane. Nope, can't use propane and gas. Oh, so we're going to, well, maybe we can just go out there and harvest, start picking berries. Nope, you can't do that because you're going to mess up the wildlife ecosystem. Oh, maybe we'll just drink water. Oh, you can't do that because the EPA is going to be toxifying your water. Let's just be breatharians and live on the sun. Oh, you can't do that because Monsanto's is going to tax the sun.
Well, we can still bake things in Arizona. You just throw it on the sidewalk, and grill it on the sidewalk or in your car.
No, they're going to tax you for the sun use. Maybe we'll just go into the front yard and start eating our grass and start chopping grass. But you can't do that. HOA is going to come along and say that's a violation of house associational violations. There's really nothing left.
Already expensive enough as it is to live in California. Now they over here want to tax the sun. I'm like, how in the world can you tax the sun? Now you just getting ridiculous. But I mean, hell, we pay for water, don't we?
In 2021, a man was hiking through the Appalachian Mountains when he ran across something that greatly disturbed him. While the man was hiking, he would notice and record multiple pieces of trash with long paragraphs written on them. At first, this writing seemed relatively harmless. There was multiple lyrics from various songs and incoherent sentences. But as he walked deeper into the woods, he noticed another set of notes, this time with cryptic messages, dark poems, and even detailed conspiracies about world governments and agents. The contents of the notes apparently creeped the man out so much that he decided to leave that trail completely and hike 2 miles the opposite way and search for a new campsite. However, once he got to his new campsite, he not only found yet another note which he believes was written by the same person who left the previous notes.
I'm just hammered. This writing looks almost exactly like the writing that was on that garbage a couple of miles from here.
He also caught something very strange on camera in the middle of the night. I want you to check it out and then let me know what you think about all this in the comments.
Oh, hi. What? I need to get out of here.
A U.S. government report now links fluoride to lower IQs in children. Although there have been numerous other reports on this, this is the first time that a federal agency has connected the two. Fluoride is used to strengthen teeth and reduce the risk of cavities by replacing lost minerals. So, fluoride is added to our drinking water in low quantities. The studies were conducted by the National Toxicology Program and were conducted in China, Canada, Iran, India, Pakistan, and Mexico. It concluded that if more than 1.5 milligrams of fluoride is added per liter of water, that it consistently associated with lower IQ levels. Although it didn't specifically state how many IQ points lower, it's estimated that it's about 2 or 3. While the World Health Organization considers 1.5 milligrams or lower a safe level, federal health officials recommend only 0.7 milligrams per liter of water, which is less than half of what the World Health Organization recommends. And the Environmental Protection Agency maintains the requirement that it cannot exceed more than 4 milligrams per liter of water. This is in place to prevent skeletal fluorosis, which causes weaker bones and stiffness. Roughly 1.9 million people just inside of the US are on water systems that use 1.5 milligrams of fluoride per liter or higher.
1.5, which is more than recommended, more than double was recommended. Why? Just don't put it in the water. Just give us some little wipes or droplets that we can put on our teeth and let that do the job. I don't want to ingest that mess. Come on.
1950s, which meant that many patients underwent treatment that would be considered torture in today's standards. These forms of treatment included lobotomies without anesthesia and severe electroshock therapy. Patients were also often restrained in straitjackets and shackles to keep them in check. There are over 9,000 recorded deaths here and probably many more that weren't put on the records. And many people believe that some patients and staff are still walking these dilapidated hallways. At this asylum, there were staff there that genuinely had good intentions and really cared about their patients. Matron Sharp was one of them, and she was said to have been in charge of the women's ward in the late 1800s. Matron Sharp was also said to have been extremely dedicated to her job, that she put her own children into care just so she could keep working and afford a better life for her family. Very little is known about Matron Sharp, but she was known for her kindness and her attempts to improve her patients' living conditions. She introduced home comforts to the ward, such as lace curtains and fresh flowers. Her ghostly apparition has been seen in the women's ward as well as in other areas of the asylum, including the Grevillea wing, where the electroshock therapy and other treatments took place. When the asylum was still operating, many nurses reported seeing Matron Sharp's spirit sitting on the end of patients' beds who were about to go through electroshock therapy. Her presence seemed comforting and reassuring to those patients. Perhaps this is something she also did when she was alive. Those that have ever witnessed Matron Sharp's spirit have said that the room's temperature would drop instantly and the air would turn icy cold. There are so many more ghosts that haunt this place, so if you're interested, I might make a part 2.
Look at these things. They're perfect. Perfect white teeth. Not like Jimmy's all mangled. He's got goofy looking teeth.
They do look.
Right? Like,
They do look like they could be related.
Behind and eventually.
Yo, that's the exact same nose.
It's gonna look.
Oh my God, his teeth not so nice back then.
But I mean, Morgan Freeman's got all these freckles. All those freckles we would clearly wait. People have freckles in the same spots. I mean, so they look alike and sit alike and have similar teeth and freckles. But, I mean, if it was really him, they would tell us because they put the truth right in plain sight.
Costume that looked like a harem type thing, you know, with sash and blousey, and I had a huge fro, and they put a band around my head, and I walk out on stage, first preview, audience, I guess it was preview. The free theater doesn't have previews, do they? Yeah. Do they? Oh, yeah. First preview. That was the first time they had an audience. And I walk out on stage and somebody way in the back said, "Sing Purple Haze."
It's not a good start to Othello, is it?
Oh, Purple Haze, Jimmy's most famous song. And I wonder when he stopped producing music because he died and Morgan Freeman came on the scene. I wonder, those could be, there's got to be evidence that they're not the same there, right? Okay, he died September 1970. Okay. Oh, and Morgan Freeman's first role was in 1971. How convenient. You guys know I don't really think that Hollywood and the music industry and the government are just cycling through the same people over and over again to have a smaller system of control over your minds. I don't really think that. All for entertainment purposes.
Not gonna lie, but this is a conspiracy theory that I really like. Never heard, never seen this before, but I like it.
In a fake town, and this is how I found out. In 1957, the US government conducted an experiment in the event of a nuclear war to see how test subjects would react to living in a fake town. 9 babies from foster care were brought in for this experiment and were given parents. As they grew up, they were not told about this experiment and that this town was basically life. By the 70s, most of them were having kids of their own. None of them had any idea either about this experiment or about the outside world. One of them being my parents, who had me in 95. Now back in 1977, 20 years after the experiment, the government concluded it and kind of just left the sponsoring organization to host it. But the organizers secretly continued the experiment. The original residents tried to expose this, but were all diagnosed with being senile by the hospital. And one by one, they all just went missing one day, including my great-grandparents. Flash forward to today, and we have a thriving town. But something's always felt off about my life compared to what I saw on TV. All those special effects that they portrayed, all these vast worlds and valleys and water that just went on, and a sky that just was infinite, and those sci-fi things that can transport you around this vast world. My friends and I were in high school and would always get in trouble. Ever since we grew up, we always came accustomed to this door that some officers would use to enter and leave out of. We didn't know what this building led to. It just seemed so out of place, but we definitely wanted to go inside. And one day, that's exactly what happened. An officer opened the door just wide enough that it was still closing for a few seconds. We were able to sneak over and catch the door before it closed. We all got in. This fairly sizable building inside was just this corridor. A very weird design. We continued down and saw a bunch of doors. The closest one to us said Village 5. Curious, we opened the door to find a completely abandoned town. It looks like no one has touched it in decades. Shit, we made the fatal mistake of not holding the door, which had the same building. Just then we could hear the officers inside acknowledging the loud bang that we just made. We all decided to hide, afraid that we'd get in trouble that we entered this restricted town. Tune in next time to find out what happens. I was raised in a fake town and this is how I found out. So to recap, we snuck into a place we weren't supposed to and were hiding from some officers. We saw their flashlights moving around and their radios going off, but then they just faded away. Be on high alert of potential escapees. Escapee? Escape from what? Once they left, we ran back out and made it back to our town. We cannot not discuss this with anyone. We left, and I went home to my parents, who had the TV on. It was announced that a dangerous suspect was at large in our town. Someone had trespassed into government property. Interesting. Were they referring to this building? A few of my friends from that night were absent class. It's very odd. Things just didn't feel right. A town completely identical to ours is in shambles. Every old resident claiming the town we live in is false and disappearing as well. And then obviously this building makes it look like this is all a facade. It can't be real. This isn't real. Were all these movies and content real? All these people's lives were a lie? I'm not sure what I would find, but I headed to the library and I snuck into a back room. Inside I found a bunch of archived vaults, which had a timeline of the town's history. It went all the way back to 1957. This is the first file, and it says that this building was recovered from a fire which destroyed the previous documents. Kinda convenient. The back of the paper read something in small text. 214 back. For a second, I didn't get what it was trying to say, but I wanted to try something. I headed over to aisle 2, row 4, and I reached my hand to the back. I felt something. I pulled it out. It was an extremely dusty little journal, which read, "The Truth About Village 6. That's what the door says leading back to my town. I opened it to find these huge futuristic looking machines that were making a huge building. I thought to myself, that building must be the size of our whole town. And then I realized, that building is our town. Oh my god. So it's true then, everything's a lie. Just then I heard the library door slam open. It was the cops. I hid. Find out what happens in the next episode.
Do y'all remember China McClain from the House of Pain? Sweet, cute little girl. Man, she went back, y'all. She went back. She said she was gonna be working for God, and that's the only work she's gonna be doing, but she went back. She wasn't telling us the truth. China, we actually believed you. We believed you. We did.
And all this is an illusion. It's an illusion. This industry, for what it is, and everything that people look to and praise, it's not important. I'm doing God's work now, and I'm not doing anything else. Just gonna put it plainly, but I am doing God's work now.
Really?
And that is all I'm doing. I don't know why I was wasting time before. I have not played the game well when it comes to the standards of this industry.
As y'all can see, that was before. But y'all stay tuned for part 2. And we gonna wrap this up. It's sad, it's heartbreaking. But y'all, always remember that when these celebrities say they're gonna do God's work, like what y'all heard her say, God is a title. That does not mean she's talking about the Most High, even though she referred to him. Will she control opposition? Let's watch part 2. Follow for more.
Today I've got some bad news about our food supply and the general health of the planet, because global food production is being limited by a lack of pollinators, i.e. pollinating insects. And increasing the amount of pollinating insects could actually help improve our diminished crop yields. In case you didn't know, there has been a global insect population decline over the last honestly 50 to 100 years, thanks to a whole bunch of things that we're up to, from pesticides to agriculture, deforestation, nitrification, driving cars, drought, just all sorts of stuff that humanity is doing is resulting in less insects, more or less across the board. What's interesting about this, though, is that the foods that rely most on pollinators tend to be nutritionally dense foods such as fruits, vegetables, nuts, and legumes, and also culturally relevant dishes. They don't really affect things very much so, like if I can find it in here, rice and wheat, which don't require pollinators to reproduce. However, we do need pollinators to make nuts and berries and stuff like that. This article indicates that the ones that are most affected by it are blueberry, coffee, and apple crops, which is a shame because those are 3 very, very popular things. And this was done via a statistical analysis on 1,500 different fields in all around the world, and they logged more than 2,000 bee visitations and compared that with information that's available in an open source database of 3 decades of field observations of bees and other pollinating insects and plants, which is very, very impressive. I personally didn't know there was an open source bee visitation database, but it makes sense to exist given the scale of the problem. I thought this was very interesting. It's very concerning. I do like to try to cover insect population decline on this, I guess, science TikTok. But it's hard to get people to care because bugs are creepy, nasty little crawlies, and they bite and they sting and they're annoying. But we need them. We need them for our food.
It just goes to show you how everything that our Creator intended for us in regards to what is natural is all intended to help us all, mankind and animal kind alike.
The USA is in a fast and ever-increasing decline. And what is being done about it? Absolutely nothing. You know, population growth, births in this country, the birth rate has been going down for the better part of 50 years. Yeah, ever since women started to get into the workplace, you know what's gone on with the birth rate? It's gone down and down and down. And now it's getting to the critical level. And if it keeps going the way it has the last 10 years, it'll be beyond critical. It'll be beyond what the United States can sustain. In other words, Generation Alpha that has been from 2010 to 2024 has only birthed 46 million people. Not 60 or 70 like the ones before it. Only 46. And if the next 14 years is that bad or worse, the country is in huge economic trouble. But nobody is talking about it. And nobody is doing anything about it. And I'm just wondering why we're allowing the birth rate to rapidly decline year after year after year, and nobody's raising the red flag and going, we have a problem here. And you people that are in Gen Z and your millennials, yeah, you're going to have real problems because there just isn't a population coming up behind you. So you millennials, wait till you see what the next 20, 30 years looks like, because you will have a very difficult time because there just isn't the population. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think the answer is, because we're not talking about it, but it's getting to the critical level, and it's getting there like now. Like and follow for more. Tell me what you think.
This is an issue, and you can kind of look at this issue in some places in Asia where they are literally trying to convince their people to have more kids. Going as far as installing poles in the living room to encourage foreplay. He asked what would be an answer to this, and Millennial here speaking, I have an unrealistic answer. And yeah, I'll go ahead and have 100 kids, you know, by a few different women if somebody gonna fund it. I mean, like, if you want to assist me with these kids, I help populate the planet, because Lord knows I want to have some kids like tomorrow. I'm getting older. I'm a millennial. I'm about to be 37 next month and I ain't got no kids yet. He ain't lying. We have a problem.
This is a response video to the video I posted of the sun flashing or flickering. Now, I know it wasn't only me, and I've heard people say, it's your welding shield, change the batteries. People saying it's your phone camera pulsing every 4 seconds. I can tell you
I've seen this recently.
Right now, it's not my phone, and it wasn't the welding shield. So please stay tuned to the next part of this video. Thank you. Please share.
Check this video out, guys. Now you know there's something going on with the sun when the elderly is speaking out about this. This lady is speaking on the sun, how she has never seen the sun do what it's doing right now. It looks like the sun is grabbing at something, which means it's pulsating, which we showed y'all that before. But she has been on this earth for almost 80 years, and she's never seen the sun do this. And she's also stated that the sun looks different. Like there's a bigger sun and a smaller sun, possibly 2 suns. Check this out, y'all.
Looking at, look at the sun right there. What's it doing? See that? It looks like it's doing it. That's what people say. That's what people are saying. Huh? Yeah, but don't stare at it too long. People say it's flashing too like that. So you've heard that before? Yeah. I've never seen that. And it's yellow and spot around.
You hear? There's a spot on the sun.
Grabbing at something. Mm-hmm. I have never seen it.
Imagine what she's seen, y'all. Total different sun. She stated that.
Well, and it was. Because it was bigger when I looked at it the first time.
You see, probably another sun. Why the sun changing, right? Sometimes there's a small sun in the sky. Sometimes there's a bigger sun in the sky. And she's talking about that, y'all. Y'all need to listen to the elder when they speak.
No, because how long you been looking at it? I've been looking at it 20 minutes. No, I mean in your lifetime. No, I've never seen that before like that. I've never seen it like that. And I just moved to open the curtains down there. And I couldn't get away from it.
New sun vibes, baby.
That's crazy.
Sun look like this. Now look at what it's doing.
Good morning. Taylor Swift is not a psyop.
Taylor Swift is not a psyop.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift is not a
psyop. Good morning. Taylor Swift is not a psyop.
Taylor Swift is not a psyop.
Taylor Swift.
This is extremely dangerous.
That's why I don't trust the news. They all read off the exact same script. Nope. I don't watch it.
There's no...
So this video was taken late at night on Carranza Road, a famously haunted road in New Jersey. And in it, the guy's sensor keeps going off like there's something circling the car, but he keeps cutting back to the back camera showing that there's nothing there. And maybe you're thinking, yeah, whatever, the guy's sensors are probably broken, but there are a ton of sightings just like this on this exact road. And it's all because of this monument we see at the end of the video, which is supposedly cursed. I'm going to tell you about the monument, but before I do, this is all coming from this week's episode of the podcast about terrifying true urban legends. So this is that monument. It's buried deep in the woods in New Jersey. And it's to honor Emilio Carranza, who was one of the most famous pilots in Mexico's history. One night, Emilio was flying from New York back to Mexico when a huge storm hit and he crashed in New Jersey right where the monument is. And now all sorts of weird stuff is seen by this monument. People say they see lights in the sky that look like a plane crashing. They say their sensors go off like something circling the car. They even see faces coming out of the woods sometimes. And all of that makes this sighting even more terrifying.
There might be a biological difference in people who see the paranormal. Listen to immunologist Gary Nolan. He spent a lot of time looking at the MRIs of brains of UFO experiences and concluded that these people all had more pronounced bundles of nerves at the head of their caudate and putamen.
Yeah, that they're basically smarter. And they realize what's sitting in front of them and they don't ignore it.
Nolan is saying that there could be something hardwired into these people's brains that allow them to see things that most people don't. What's even crazier is he's saying that the people who have this trait might be attracted to each other and are passing it on through their children. Are we seeing the start of a new species of man? One that can more easily see things which others ignore or brush aside? Or has this speciation already been going on for thousands of years and we're only just now at the tipping point?
Ooh, think about that. Because if that is true, then man, we can birth some superhumans that are capable of connecting, talking, interacting with the spiritual realm and with the extraterrestrial realm. What?
Did you know in 2019, Salem, Massachusetts debuted the world's largest Ouija board? Look, this shouldn't be a surprise to anyone considering Salem is known as being a big witchcraft place. So what are some things you can expect to happen to you if you play with a Ouija board? Demonic possession is highly likely. Demonic visitation, items moving randomly throughout your house, being sick all the time, bad dreams, relationship sap.
No, I couldn't get past the thought that there would be a massive, and I mean massive, influx of bad spirit to come from a Ouija board that size. It's either gonna be the biggest demon you can imagine or a bunch of just random demons that gonna do some not so random stuff to the society. Look, not me. Shit, I ain't never going to Salem if they got stuff like that out there. They need to destroy that, because if it's just sitting out there in the grass somewhere, everybody's screwed. But anyway, y'all, look, that's all I got for y'all today. Leave your thoughts, comments, and opinions down below. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. See ya.